So this is our Workday product. As you might know, that Workday is software as a service or SaaS product. Okay. Now anyone who is not aware of what is SaaS product. But I mean, you want me to talk about what is SaaS product. So there are many applications, right? So software applications can be on-prem, which is on-premise, or as a service. Now, what is an on-prem or on-premise software? And on-premise software is something that you have installed or the organizations have installed on their servers. They do the maintenance. They do the upgrades, everything like, for example, you have Microsoft Word or Microsoft Office installed on your computer. So who will do the upgrades? The Microsoft will recommend some upgrades, but you are the one who is going to do it. Right, it's your computer, so you have to upgrade the product by yourself. You have to maintain the RAM, the laptop or the desktop computer, correct? Now let's say, if Microsoft comes up with a very new product and your computer is not able to support that, but you want to use that new product. Then maybe you have to upgrade your laptop as well. Right. So all the maintenance, everything related to that product is dependent on you because you have installed that particular application on your system. So it is an on-premise. It is sitting on your system. Now contrast that with, let's say, the Gmail application or maybe now, the Office 365 subscription. Right, or maybe the Outlook on the web. Do you care about upgrades made to Gmail? Is it? Do you have to take some action on your side? No, right, you just log into the browser. And you enter your user ID and password and there it is. You have the new and upgraded Gmail every time, the Google Mail or even the Outlook on the web it upgrades.
Right. Yeah, braces. Let's put the braces first. So this is the beginning.
And how that impacts it.
So we will put it here, and before I move to the next thing, I would also like to show you this. You see the up and down arrows. Right, the up and down arrow, so I can move this rule to the top using the up arrow. I can move it below this using the down arrow. That's why I ask, is the sequence or the order in which we write the rule conditions important or not? Do you think it is important? If I move it up, will that change anything? That won't change anything, but then I have to correct the as of now. Yes, the only thing I need to change is the brackets, but anyway, let me keep it like this right now. What should I do? I have written the rule which says manager in the US. Now I have to write or supervisors in the UK, so what should I do now? Add a line. Now you have two ways to add a line, one using this add row at the top and one using the add row for each row. Now which one should I use? Let's try both. If I use the one at the top, see what happens. It adds a row at the top. That's the new at the top, right? Yes, I can move it down. I can scroll to the right or I can move it down. If I want, right, I can do that. But what is this faster way of doing it? If I want to insert a row at the bottom, the faster way is just to click on the row below which you want to enter the new room. Right. Remember, in Excel you have an option which says Insert Rows below. You select a row. Yeah, then you right-click and say, Insert Rows below. So this option is like an insert row below. Okay, this add row will insert a row immediately below the existing row. Okay. This is usually faster because you are typically going to add a row just below. If you want to add row at the top, you use the add row button at the top. Okay. Now what else? We will use the same set of fields, correct? Again, we will use management level again. We will use country of location. So what you can do is you can right-click on the field and you can copy the text. Okay, it's very nifty feature. You can just right-click on the field and copy the text so that you don't have to type it again. Put it as a Control-V paste and just search for it again. Right, you see, it is so easy. I don't have to type management level. I don't have to worry about making spelling mistakes and all. Just right-click the field, copy the text and put it in the field that you want. Right. Okay, so frequently used any in the selection list, and this time we are going to use supervisor, right? So let's scroll down, 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 and we are going to use supervisor. 7 supervisor, correct? 7 supervisor. And that's it. And we add another row. And here we are going to use country of location primary. Okay, country of location, any in the selection list, and we will use United Kingdom. Okay, done. What else do we need to do? We need to fine-tune this with our brackets, right? So here we will put a bracket and we will put a bracket here. That's it. Anything else do we need to do or condition? So we need to change this and put it as an organization. Rest of it looks okay. Just to clean up maybe the first line, we can remove this and then click on select one, right? We can answer, but it doesn't harm anything. So we will leave it like this, and we will just leave it like this. Okay, right-click OK. So our rule has been created. Right, you see how we could write really complicated rule. We are looking at managers in the US or supervisors in the UK. So there is no limit on the number of rule conditions you need to create. You can write for 2 to find out a group of employees. You can really write really complicated rules based on the different fields. Okay, right. But remember, the more fields you use, the more complicated you make an eligibility rule, the more time it takes to execute. Of course, right, because it has to go through all the conditions and so on. Okay, you may use is equal to as well. Some fields do allow for is equal to, but any in the selection list is a more versatile kind of option. That let's say, tomorrow you want to add Germany to this list, or write USA and Germany. So just add Germany in the drop-down. You don't need to change the operator. This will have the organization and its subordinates, right? So XYZ Motors Manufacturing. If you look at the organization hierarchy, where is XYZ Motors Manufacturing? It's right here. Does it have any subordinates? It doesn't have. What about sales? It doesn't. Since I have included only these 2 organizations as part of my room, only these 2 organizations will be included. I mean, employees of these 2 organizations will be considered, nothing else. If I include executive in my room, then what happens then? The 3 XYZ Motors executive and its subordinates, which is XYZ Motors Sales and XYZ Motors Manufacturing. Right, You see, you have to add one row which says XYZ Motors Right, the top level organization. And you have to add another condition, and then you can write an OR condition and put organization and superior organization equal to XYZ Motor Sales and the other condition that you want you to write multiple rule conditions. Just like we have written, like everything here. Okay, so in one line, we will write, Organ Super gets Wise Motors and let's say, management level is equal to manager or organ support equal to XYZ Motors manufacturing and management level equal to supervise, something like this. But make sure that the rules are mutually exclusive, because the first condition that is satisfied, that will be selected. Okay, if this is the condition that is satisfied, then it's a match, right? It will not even go for the OR condition. Okay, so when you are writing rules, make sure that the first and the second are mutually exclusive. Otherwise it doesn't make sense to write another OR condition. Isn't it? So when you are writing rules, think about it. Write it down on a piece of paper, if you want, or put it in an Excel spreadsheet, PowerPoint, whichever is more comfortable. Do that and then test it out. Okay, you have two ways to test. What is the first one? You go to Composition Eligibility, view eligible workers. That is one way of doing, and the other one, this view eligible workers will give you a list of all the workers who satisfy this condition. Or you can do a test, and using test, you can test for specific workers. Right, and the result will be either yes or no. If the worker is part of this list, it will be yes. The worker doesn't satisfy the condition, it will be a no, right? It is always recommended that you do a positive test as well as some negative tests as well. Okay,